So I'm here on the red carpet with Kadir Nelson. Kadir is an author and illustrator and has won many, many awards, including the Coretta Scott King Author Award for We Are the Ship, and Caldecott Honors for Moses, and Henry's Freedom Box, right?
That's right.
And I want to ask you about doing the research. Most of your books are sort of set in a historical setting. So I want to ask you about what's it like doing the research. Do you have a favorite place or person or method of finding out the kind of things you find out for what you're writing or illustrating?
Well, I usually start by going to the library or visiting the library online. The aim is to familiarize yourself with the story and the subject matter so that you can tell it in a competent way. So I do a lot of research in books, online. Sometimes I visit historical places or talk to people who may have lived through that time period, just so that I can be able to step into their shoes and tell the story.
And as we said, a lot of your work is historical, but you've done some contemporary stuff. Do you have any things that you're sort of contemplating doing that have a contemporary setting that are coming down the pike?
My next book is called Baby Bear, which is a story about a little bear who's lost in the woods and he's trying to find his way home. So it's kind of it's almost a spiritual story about coming back home, finding your spiritual home, and all the animals in the forest lovingly guide him all the way home.
Sounds great. Sort of almost realistic, fully detailed kind of oil paintings. Or are you doing this in a different style or in the same style?
It's a bit more of a playful style. It is somewhat realistic, but stylized to suit the subject matter.
Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, after having won all of these awards, and I'm wondering what it's like for you when you get an award. What's the most exciting thing about? Maybe you could pick one award and say what was the most exciting or interesting thing that happened to you as a result of winning that.
Well, I think librarians are very passionate about books, about quality books, and they like to celebrate authors. So I remember my first Caldecott honor going up to receive the plaque. There was a really, loud applause. I can feel their love and enthusiasm for books. So I think immediately that was probably the first thing. And then secondly, it's also exciting to know that your books, when they receive an award like that, they go out to every library in the country. So it's great to know that children and readers of all ages will be able to enjoy your book in a much larger way.
If you could steal any object from any other children's book in the history of children's literature, what would that object be and why?
Oh, well, I do not steal, so...
Okay, so you wouldn't steal anything. What about if the main character were to willingly let you borrow it?
Oh, that's a very good question. Perhaps, maybe the boat from Where the Wild Things Are that sailed to that mystical place where all the monsters live. That might be pretty cool.
And you take it to Where the Wild Things Are?
I go directly there.
Thank you for stopping by the red carpet. We really appreciate it, and it was great talking to you.
Pleasure to be here.